To start, my name is Kyndle Padgett. I am a personal trainer, fat loss coach, health coach, and also a woman who is trying to conceive. I'm here to talk a little bit about my journey in this process because it ain't easy. So let's go. So I guess it's time for me to tell my story. One of the things that I have noticed in my attempt to conceive, to have my own baby, is it's not what you see in the movies. It's not what you see growing up. There's a lot of ugly sometimes that goes on in the background, a lot of sadness that goes on in the background that many of us never would expect. You know, for me, I've had 2 miscarriages, and I never would have thought this would happen to me. I'm a personal trainer. I am a fat loss coach. I am a health coach. I am healthy. And I never would have thought in a million years that I would be struggling with trying to conceive and visiting an infertility specialist here in the next few days. Whenever I hear that word, infertility, I can't even wrap my head around it. I think I'm still in denial that I'm here. So for me, I had a miscarriage in November of 2022 and March of 2023. So my first pregnancy test was not planned. This was not trying, was not in the market of like, okay, I'm ready to have a baby. I am, but we weren't like necessarily trying. My period was a few days late, and you know, I'm doing some general, just basic stuff around the house and talking to my best friend on the phone. I went to Target. I said, you know what? My period's about 5 or 6 days late. I've been struggling with some hormonal things going on, and in my mind, I'm thinking there's something wrong with me. My period is late. I feel super bloated. I feel disgusting. There's something wrong with my hormones. I'm reversing in my progress of healing my hormones. So I go to get the pregnancy test just in case, and I come back and I take it, not expecting to see a positive. But when I did, I was shocked. I'm like, holy freaking crap, I'm pregnant. What the hell? So time moves forward, and in December, I ended up starting to spot. I'm starting to bleed, and I call my doctor, and they're like, you need to go to the emergency OBGYN. So I go December 21st. There's nothing there to see, which was crushing. It was my first experience with loss like this, and that was really, really hard to recover from. At that point, I'm like, okay, I can get pregnant. I want to get pregnant. So we started trying. So things get back to normal. And once again, in March, I have another miscarriage. You know, you see the positive pregnancy test, and all you think about is the end result, the baby. You start thinking about how can we plan our lives around this? And no one tells you, and not many people have the courage, and that's okay, because this is hard to talk about. To talk about the odds of it not happening, which is very actually common. 1 in 4 women, their pregnancies result in miscarriage. That's a hell of a lot. And I feel like it's becoming more and more prevalent in our society, pregnancy loss. So if you are in that situation, if you've experienced anything like this, you are not alone. And what I am here to do is I'm here to share my story. I'm here to let you know that, girl, you're not in this alone. There are other people that are struggling with the same thing. Doesn't make it any easier, but it sometimes helps us mentally to know that I'm not the only person that's felt this pain. I'm not the only person struggling with this. I'm not the only person crying myself to sleep at night over these situations. You're not alone. So, you know, after the second, my doctor was thinking that it was an ectopic pregnancy. So I ended up having to get a methotrexate injection around that time. So on top of this pregnancy is not going to end in a baby, there was the mental impact that this could be affecting my life. This could be ectopic. This could end up with me losing a tube. So come to find out, she didn't think it was, but I had to still get the MTX injection, the methotrexate. The methotrexate injection wasn't painful. You go in, it's the same chemicals that they give people who are going through cancer treatment. You're getting an injection, maybe this big, one in each butt cheek, in comparison to what people who are going through cancer treatment are getting. This is just the smallest little injection that you're getting. And what this does is it basically stops your cells from multiplying. So if there is a fetus growing in your tube, it will, kind of end things. After that, your doctor tells you that you should not be trying to conceive for at least 3 months, just because the methotrexate strips you of folate in your body. So now, that was back in March. Now I'm at a place where we can try to conceive again. But in that entire process, you have to work on trying to build back up your folate, making sure that you're taking prenatals, making sure, I was even taking beef liver capsules, just trying to make sure that I was building that folate back up in my body. So with where I'm at, 2 miscarriages. I honestly think I've had 3, but the first one was chemical, and I didn't get a positive pregnancy test, so can't really count it, but I have this gut feeling that I've had 3. But after that and trying for almost a year with no baby, my doctor suggested that we now change positions and meet with an infertility specialist. So like I was mentioning earlier, that word kind of scares me, infertile. What does that mean? Does this result in IVF? Does this result in, not being able to have kids? What's wrong with me? I'm thinking all of these things on a pretty regular basis. And if you're here and if you're watching this video, you've probably experienced something like this in some capacity, and you've probably had the same thoughts. You're probably wondering, what is wrong with my body? And it's unfortunate that not all doctors are there to support us in the way that we need to be supported. After my first miscarriage, my doctor, she literally told me, it's just bad luck. You're healthy. That's just bad luck. And that sometimes rings in my mind. Bad luck. That's what you have to say about this situation. I know it's bad luck. I know it's unfortunate, but is that really how we're going to go about this? Is that really what we're going to say? So I went from this situation of, it's just bad luck, to now reality is actually setting in that there's something wrong. Was it the birth control that I was on for 10 years that has now, I feel like, completely fucked up my hormones? Is it the immense stress that I have been under for years, from gymnastics, from school, from trying to be a perfectionist? Is there something else going on? I don't know. And hopefully we'll be able to get some answers in this. So I've been journaling. That's what I'm kind of glancing down at, because so much goes into this and I want to be able to remember everything. Because whenever I actually am holding my baby, whenever I'm actually holding my baby, I want to be able to look back and say, this is why. You were supposed to be a testament. You helped other women get through this. You made this feel better for one person. I think that's what my calling is. So that is why I'm sharing. So, I have my theories on kind of what's been going on with me I was put on birth control a long time ago, about 10 years ago. At this point, probably more. Yeah, more. Because I was struggling with some acne. And I had tried creams, I'd gone to the dermatologist, nothing was working. So birth control was the answer, right? Just take this pill, your acne goes away, and it did. Okay, it's working. But as I started to learn and grow and really get into health and wellness, I started learning about how birth control can affect our bodies. I am pro your choice of what you want to do. I'm not demonizing birth control by any means, because there is a time and a place for its use. But I'm just saying, for me, I think it was probably not the best answer. So, like I mentioned, I'm not sure if it's stress, the birth control, the hormonal imbalances, the adrenal fatigue, the sluggish liver. Now, of these things that I've learned working with functional practitioners and, really digging into my health and wellness, I've found these things about myself. And when we're talking about infertility, it's typically not just one thing. I would love to think like, okay, it's going to be just this one thing that I go to the doctor, they tell me this is what's going on, and it fixes it. But a lot of the times it's not just that. So I'm trying to get my mindset right for when we actually do go. We go in a few days to this infertility appointment. I want to go in with an open mind, but also, that realistic mindset as well too. So in this process, I just want you to know that this is real. How you feel is relevant. How you feel is normal. They don't tell you that the losses, especially if they're recurrent, doesn't really get easier. You wish and you hope for the positive pregnancy test. You see it, you're ecstatic, you're forward thinking to you holding your baby. What's the name gonna be? What's the gender? And then boom, it's done. My doctor really didn't offer much support. So, one of the things that I want to do here is create a feeling of community in a sense that I'm not in this alone. You're not in this alone. We're in this together. There's tons of people out there experiencing the same thing that we've experienced. And if you are not being supported, find the support that you need. The other crazy and funky thing that I found while, searching to meet with an infertility specialist now, insurance does not cover infertility treatments, or at least my insurance doesn't. And from what I understand, lots of insurances don't, because it's not deemed as medically necessary. It's not necessary for you to have a baby. So that just makes the level of this even harder, because how many women are out there that want this? We want this baby so badly. We want this family so badly. And there's no access. It's actually really sad. So while I'm in this journey, I want to bring you along with me, and I want to normalize talking about pregnancy loss, the emotions that come along with it. I want to talk about the procedures that I am going to be going through. I recently ended up doing an HSG, which is a hysterosalpingogram. This HSG procedure is basically where they shoot dye up into your uterus. So you're laying on a table, you're wide awake for this whole procedure. You lay back on the table and they shoot dye up into your uterus. It goes in your uterus, into your fallopian tubes, and they want to see, is there any blockages? Is there anything in the way of the sperm getting to the egg and the egg coming down and nestling in the uterus where it's supposed to? This procedure had a lot of different responses and reviews online. Anytime before I do a procedure or anything that's new, I like to get other people's perspectives on it. And there were perspectives where some women were not even able to get through the procedure itself because it was so painful. And some people are like, oh, it just felt like a period cramp. For someone who doesn't really cramp, the only time I've ever really cramped was my miscarriages. And that was a doozy. I did have to end up taking some Tylenol, some pain relievers for that. I took an NSAID before I went. I took an ibuprofen before I went to the procedure. But that was interesting. And I can't even say it was like truly painful, because when I think of pain, I think of my broken ankle. I think of my multiple surgeries, my orthopedic surgeries that I've had. That was pain, and that was extended pain from the time the injury happened to having surgery, the recovery from surgery. That is painful. This was painful, uncomfortable, ouch, for maybe like 15 to 30 seconds. But it was intense for those 15 to 30 seconds. It's so centralized to your uterus. I honestly felt like I was going to shit my pants. And I said that to the lady. She said, that's the first time I've ever heard anyone explain this situation, that it feels like you're going to shit your pants. It's honestly just like such a strong feeling in your uterus. They make you roll to each side. They send that X-ray from that image over to your doctor, and everything looked normal there. So that was a good sign for me. And I'm hoping that moving through into seeing this infertility specialist, I continue to receive good news and positive feedback. So for me, I pray that this journey ends in my own baby. I am married. My husband has a son, and I see how he is as a dad, and I want to be able to provide that. I want to have my own child. I want to be able to have the joy of pregnancy, having a baby in my belly, being able to exercise and work out while I'm pregnant. You know, I have all of these things that I want to do. So I am praying that this process, this journey ends in a baby. And I'm ready to be able to be crying happy tears instead of sad tears. I'm ready to be able to look back at the past year, 2 years, whenever the time comes that I am blessed with my own child, and say, wow, you know, that was tough, but this is why. You know, this is why I was brought through this, because I want to be a testament to you. I want to be able to talk about this more openly, because sometimes we just need to feel like we're not alone in this shit, because it can get heavy. It can get sad. It can get isolating. Even if you have the most supportive family, friends, partner, which I do, but not very many people understand, you know? So the next video update will be of after my visit with the infertility specialist, what we did, how it went, what the next steps and processes, procedures will be. But this actually felt pretty good to be able to get this out, to be able to talk a little bit more about it. And I hope that you can relate. I hope that you understand that, sis, you're not alone. You're not. I'm here with you. We're going to get through this. We're going to be holding our freaking baby so soon, and I can't wait. So, peace out. Can't wait to chat soon.